Hello, good morning students of class 12 economics. Welcome to Pandya Sir's virtual class on development economics, and today our topic of discussion will be globalization. So in this series we have already discussed liberalization and privatization. So the threefold policy, that is LPG, stands for liberalization, privatization and globalization. So the last point, that is globalization, today we are going to discuss. And exactly in three different pages we will be completing the discussion of globalization. In the first we will be discussing about the changes that were brought according to the policy of globalization. What changes the planners of India they brought in our policy and implemented them. So those will be discussed here in 6 points. After that we will discuss the positive impact of globalization and the negative impact of globalization. So in the beginning the changes that were brought according to the policy of globalization. The first point is rise in equity limit. Equity means share. So actually prior to the new industrial policy, prior to the new economic policy, what happened? Actually foreign companies or foreign entrepreneurs were allowed to have a maximum 40% share of any Indian company. But after the implementation of a new industrial policy, the equity limit was raised from 40% to 51%. That means now any foreign body or foreign company or foreign organization can hold 51% stake of an Indian company. That was rise in the equity limit. It was increased from 40% to 51%. The second point is devaluation of domestic currency. And students, you need to understand clearly the meaning of devaluation of domestic currency. When we talk about domestic currency, we are mentioning or we are talking about rupee, because rupee is our domestic currency. So what is the meaning of devaluation of domestic currency or devaluation of rupee? In fact, in our later chapters, that foreign exchange rate we will be discussing very clearly and very elaborately what is actually the process of devaluation. That means, but for the time being, just I am giving a shortcut idea about the devaluation. Just try to understand. Devaluation means the decrease in the exchange rate of our currency. And with the help of an example, I will try to explain it. Suppose at present the exchange rate between American dollar and Indian rupee is 1:50. That means for $1 we have to pay 50 rupees. The exchange rate between Indian rupee and US dollar is 1:50. And the government decided to devalue the domestic currency. That means the government thought or planned to devalue Indian rupee against US dollar. So actually after devaluation, what will happen? The value of Indian rupee in terms of US dollar would fall. That means as previously the exchange rate between dollar and rupee was 1:50. Now the government devalued rupee, and now for $1 we have to pay 60 rupee. That means the value of Indian rupee went down against US dollar. That is devaluation. And now we will try to understand what is the overall impact of devaluation of domestic currency on our foreign trade. When we talk about foreign trade, we are talking about export and import. So how at all export and import, Indian export and import are going to be affected after the process of devaluation. So again come to that same example. any US, suppose people from US, if they spent $1 before devaluation, they were getting 50 rupee worth of goods or services. I repeat my statement. Before devaluation, when the exchange rate between dollar and Indian rupee was 1:50, if someone from US spends $1, then he was able to purchase goods worth of 50 rupees from India. And now, because the exchange rate has changed, now if the US people or US person or US organization would spend $1, then they will get 60 rupees worth of goods or services. So now it is obvious that the people from US will be more interested to buy from India, and if foreigners are buying from India, that calls for export of India. So in this way, when the government devalue the domestic currency, the nation's export increased and the opposite happens to import. Import is discouraged. Why? Because if any Indian was spending 50 rupees to purchase $1, now they have to spend 60 rupees to purchase $1. So obviously Indians will be less interested to buy from other country, and people from other country will be more interested to buy from India, and in this way the export from India will increase, which is quite means its effect on the Indian economy is very, very positive. So this is about the revaluation of domestic currency. Then the third point is full convertibility of domestic currency. This is also a technical term. Just try to understand what is full convertibility. Actually, in the year 92-93, the government had a rule that only the current account can be convertible 100%. Means only the transaction of current account can be converted in 100% into Indian rupee. But in the year 94, the government changed this rule, and now according to the new rule, both transaction of current and capital account could be convertible into Indian rupee by 100%. So that is full convertibility of domestic currency. Then the fourth point is removal of control on foreign trade. Earlier, in terms of export and import, India restricted the amount that could be exported and the amount that could be imported. And according to the new industrial policy, after the implementation of LPG, the government changed the rule, and now there was no restriction on export and import. In this way, the Indian economy became open to the road, that is the rest of the world. So removal of control on foreign trade. Next point is reduce customs and tariff duty. Custom and tariff duty that stands for when we export something or when we import something, then we have to pay some amount to the government in the name of customs and tariff duty. So what is the impact of customs and tariff duty? If government imposes more customs and tariff duty, then obviously the price of the goods would increase that we are exporting or which we are importing. The price would rise, and it has a negative effect on transaction or business or international trade. So, as the government in the new economic policy, according to the policy of globalization, the government removed means eliminated totally. Now, to export something or to import something, we don't have to pay any duty or any money to the government. So, obviously, it would bring the price lower, and the volume of international trade would rise. The next point is modification of technology agreement. You know that in the old industrial policy, the government restricted, that is what technology we can import from other countries. The government was ruling it, and it was controlling that what could be imported, what technology could be imported, and what technology could not be imported. But in the new economic policy, following globalization, the technology agreement rule was modified, and now the government became liberal in case of technology, that means transfer of technology. Now Indian entrepreneurs could purchase or could hire better technology, and in this way the Indian product became more competent in the international market, and that gave rise to the volume of international trade. So all these are the changes that were brought according to the policy of globalization. Now we will come to the positive impact of globalization. But where the goods that the process of globalization brought in Indian economy. The first thing is easy access to global market. Now as the Indian economy became more open to international trade or to other countries, now the dependence between other countries and India in terms of trade and transactions increased, the volume of international trade increased, and India became more prosperous. Then competitiveness. Because now there is no restriction to hire or to buy new technology, the competency of Indian product in the international market increased. Now they can compete in a better way in the international market with their counterpart products. Then the third point is development of large scale industry. So in the old industrial policy, the government was putting more emphasis on small scale industries because it helps in generating new employment and it uses labor intensive technology. But now according to the new policy, new economic policy, new industrial policy, now the technology changed and now the production, mass production was introduced. That means establishment of large scale industries. And one of the benefit of large scale industry is that the cost of production falls. Now come to the drawbacks of globalization. Only developed countries reaped the benefit. Actually, when India became open to other countries, then the amount of benefit India received from other developed economies was lesser than what other developed economies received from India. So in this way, the difference between rich and poor nation increased and increased. So economic disparity, that what we say, economic disparity means the economic standard, economic condition of developed and developing nations became more wide, that is wider and wider and wider. That is the drawbacks of the policy of globalization. So dear students, this is all about the policy of globalization, and tomorrow we will be shifting to our next chapter. So if you are getting any doubt, then just call me or message me to clarify your doubt. Thank you and have a nice day.